Hello friends, it's Robin. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing the last round of new releases for 2022, which how? Can't believe that 2022 is already over somehow, or like almost over. We have a couple more releases before the year wraps up. I have 7 books that I want to talk about today, which seems really high. I feel like in the past, December was like, there was nothing that released in December. And I feel like since the pandemic happened, like releases are kind of far more spread out. We still have those like 2 to 3 really big release months out of the year, but there doesn't seem to be as much of a off time as there used to be. I don't know if that's just my perception or what, but I have 7 books to talk about. Let's get right into it. First up, on December 6th, there are 4 books that I'm super excited for. First up is A Well-Traveled by Jen DeLuca. This is the 4th book, I think, in the Well Met series, and this one is following Lulu and Dex, who we have met in some of the previous books. I think Lulu we met in book 3. She is the cousin of the hero in that book, I think the hero, and Dex is one of the musicians that has kind of popped in and out throughout the series. He is kind of like a playboy, gets around at all of the different Ren fairs, and this is their kind of like opposites attract romance. So Lulu is a lawyer, she's super uptight, and Dex, like I said, is this very go with the flow musician. They are traveling together because Lulu decides to take a break from her job and travel with the Ren fair, and so the two of them are traveling together and falling in love. And I think that sounds really cute. I'm not a huge fan of like traveling premises, but I do love these characters and this setting, and Jen DeLuca's writing is just very like warm and cozy. I do think it's odd that this is releasing in December, since this does take place like in the middle of summer, but I'm still very excited for it. So that is the first book. Next is The Key to My Heart by Leah Lewis, and this is the 3rd book, I believe, from this author, and I am really excited for this one. I think this one is going to hurt a little bit. This does have like a more serious plot. So this is following our heroine, who I think she like writes music. I think she's a composer, and she is just about to start traveling with, I think it's a musical she wrote, when her new husband suddenly passes away. And we flash forward 2 years, and she is still struggling to recover from that loss. And it is her trying to get past that. And the only thing that she kind of finds joy in is going to this like local like open piano. I don't remember if it's at like a train station or what, but she goes to this piano and she plays music there. And one day somebody starts leaving music, like a stranger leaves music at the piano, and they are all some of her late husband's favorite songs. It sounds so beautiful, and Leah Lewis's writing and her stories always make me cry. So I'm really excited to pick this one up. I think this one could be like a late runner for one of my favorite books of the year. Then we have What You Gonna Do by Avery Flynn, and this is a trade published witchy rom-com from this author, and this one is an enemies to lovers romance. So we are following our heroine, who is a non-magical member of a very like powerful witch family, and she's kind of seen as like the odd one out because she has no magic. She ends up interfering with one of her sister's spells and accidentally curses the whole family. She needs to work with her sworn enemy to reverse the curse. Of course, her sworn enemy is a super powerful, I don't remember if he's called a witch or wizard or what, but he's super powerful, and so she needs to enlist his help to remove the curse, and obviously along the way they fall in love. I do want to preface this one. I have been so excited for this book, but I have recently discovered that the writing style of this one is a little strange. The heroine is speaking to you directly as a reader, and it is a little odd. So I would go and read like the full synopsis for this one, or go to Amazon and try like the first chapter before purchasing this, just because it does have a very strange writing style, and I know that that is like putting a lot of readers off. It definitely has me a little bit more hesitant to get into it because it is an odd style choice, but I'm hoping to give this one a try. Hopefully it ends up working for me. And then the last book on this day is one I'm really excited for, and that is Anastasia by Sophie Lark. This is a reimagining of Anastasia, and it is a fantasy twist. So it is set during this time period, and we are following Anastasia as she is discovering that she has some magical abilities, and it is obviously like an enemies to lovers, opposites attract opposite sides of a war sort of romance, and I'm really excited to get Sophie Lark's take on this. Sophie Lark is an author that I have wanted to try for so long, but she writes a lot of like mafia romances, and I'm not a mafia reader, it just doesn't work for me. And so I'm really excited to get some fantasy from her. And I just recently discovered that this is actually going to be, I don't want to say the start to a series, but this is going to kind of be like a prequel for like the world. She's going to reuse this world and set it in modern day and write a vampire series. And I'm so excited for that. So I'm excited to read this and get to know the world a little bit so that I can read her vampire series. On December 7th is The Holly Date by Brittany Cherry. She just announced this over on Instagram the day that I'm filming this, actually. And this is Brittany Cherry's first rom-com. And when I say I'm so excited for this, this is going to be a grumpy sunshine, like dating coach sort of romance. So our heroine was left at the altar on Christmas Eve, and despite all of that, she is determined to find love. And so she keeps having these first dates, and for all of her first dates, she keeps going to the hero's restaurant, and the hero is like sick of seeing her on all of these first dates and just wants her out of his restaurant. And so he decides that he's going to coach her so that she can make it to a second date and go somewhere else. And obviously, along the way, they fall in love. I love Brittany C. Cherry's romances, but they are always heartbreaking, like always. She really knows how to go for it and just like hurt you. So I'm really excited to get a rom-com from her, just like see how she does with some like cute, cozy holiday romances. I love her writing so much. I can't wait to pick this one up. So this is definitely going to be on my December TBR. And then lastly, on December 27th, we have two books. First up is Nine Liars by Maureen Johnson. This is book 5 in the Truly Devious series, kind of similar to book 4. We're following the same characters, but it is its own new mystery. I don't know if this is going to like start a new like set of series, kind of like how the first 3 books were their own little series and then book 4 was its own. I don't know if this is going to have like a continuation or if this is going to be its own standalone, but we're following the same characters. And in this one, they are going to a study abroad program in England, and Stevie is trying to solve a cold case from the 1990s. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but every single time that there is like some sort of like historical thing that is set in the 90s, I die a little inside. I'm very excited to give this one a try. I think these mysteries are just fun, good times. And then lastly is another sequel, and that is Queen of Myth and Monsters by Scarlett St. Clair. This is the sequel to, oh, what was the first book called? It's the sequel to King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair. I totally forgot what the first book was called. But this is a new adult sort of a fantasy romance, and it is all surrounding vampires. It is very much so in the same vein as like the JLA, oh my god, what are all of these series called? It's very much in the same vein as like From Blood and Ash and Fate of Wrath and Flame and all of that. So it's very timely in its sort of plot, but we're following our heroine who is a princess, and she ends up getting married off to like the evil monster guy. Turns out he's not that evil. Politics ensues. I really enjoyed the first book. I think it is not expertly written. I think it is super cheesy and corny and over the top, and I eat it up. I eat it up. It gives me like the same feeling as like the Never King series by Nikki St. Crow, where like you know the whole time that you're reading that this isn't peak literature, but you can't help but continue on and binge the whole thing. So that's how I feel about the series. I am excited to pick it up. I know this author isn't the greatest human being on the planet, so this isn't a book that I'm going to like talk about very much on my channel just because of that, but I am going to read it. I do want you to know that it's coming up, and that is a wrap on 2022 new releases. If you have missed any of the 2020 new releases, I have an entire playlist that I will link up in the cards and down in the description box. You can use it to make, I don't know, like a holiday wish list for the holidays coming up. And I will definitely be continuing the series in 2023. I also have like a most anticipated video coming up. I have a whole ton, in fact, a whole ton of December videos coming. I really wanted to do like a video pretty much every single day. I have, I think, 5 days in the entire month of December that I'm not posting a video. I really wanted to do that last year, but I got so sick and I am making up for it this year. So lots of videos coming, lots of new releases coming. Let me know if you are excited for any of these new releases or if I missed any of them, and I will catch you all in my next video. Bye!